The street lights on Fulton Avenue flickered. Cars rushed past, splashing in the damp evening. On the corner stood Amara Okoye, a 19-year-old black girl. Her braided hair was pulled into a bun, her jacket thin against the night air. Her dark skin glistened faintly under the neon light. She looked too young, too proud, too out of place to belong on that street. Her mother, Grace Okoye, lay 3 miles away at St. Bartholomew's Hospital, fighting to breathe. The doctors had said the surgery was urgent. The cost was more than Amara could imagine. She had tried everything: diner shifts, cleaning jobs, borrowing from friends. She had begged banks, pawned jewelry, and even skipped meals to save a few dollars. Nothing was enough. Tonight, she stood on a street she had sworn she would never walk, forced there by desperation. A sleek black car slowed beside her. The window rolled down. Behind the glass sat a man in his 60s. His hair was silver, his navy suit crisp, his gold watch gleaming in the glow of the streetlight. This was Mr. Bennett, a man who carried wealth the way others carried umbrellas, without effort. His eyes studied her with cool calculation. "How much?" he asked. Amara's throat tightened. Shame and fear wrestled in her chest. "Enough for my mother's surgery," she whispered. He frowned. "Say that again." "My mother is dying," she said, voice breaking. "She needs surgery." "I've tried everything. I don't belong here, but I have no choice for a moment." Silence. The man's hand tightened on the steering wheel. Then he said, "Get in." Amara froze. Every instinct told her to run, but his tone carried something unfamiliar. Steadiness, not hunger. Slowly, she obeyed, slipping into the leather seat that smelled of cedar and rain. The car glided through the city. They passed shuttered shops, murals cracked by weather, bus stops where Amara once studied vocabulary with her mother. Neither spoke. The silence pressed heavy until the car stopped at the glowing entrance of St. Bartholomew's Hospital. Inside, Mr. Bennett walked with her to admissions. He pulled out a checkbook and a black card. "Her balance," he said firmly to the nurse. "All of it. Schedule the surgery today." The nurse blinked, stunned. Papers appeared. Forms were signed. Within an hour, Grace would be prepped for surgery. In the waiting area, Amara's voice trembled. "Why are you doing this?" "You don't know me?" Mr. Bennett's eyes lowered. "Once, long ago, I loved someone. She needed surgery. I couldn't afford it. She died. I swore I'd never watch that happen again." Tears filled Amara's eyes. Her dark cheeks glistened in the fluorescent light. "I have nothing to give you." "Good," he said quietly. "I'm not asking. Only promise me one thing. Never go back to that corner." "I promise," she whispered. An hour later, Amara kissed her mother's forehead as nurses wheeled her bed toward the operating room. "An angel in a suit," she murmured. Grace managed a weak smile. "No matter what happens, you've done enough." Back in the lobby, Amara confessed to Mr. Bennett. "I worked extra shifts, sold everything I could. I even asked my landlord for time. He wanted something else. I ran straight to that corner." His jaw tightened. "That street takes more than it gives. You were right to run." Hours passed. Finally, the surgeon approached. "The surgery was successful. She is stable." Amara collapsed in relief, tears rolling down her dark skin. That night in the recovery room, Grace slept peacefully. Amara whispered, "She looks safe." "She looks like someone with a future," Bennett replied. He spoke of his past. "Her name was Lila. We were poor. She needed help I couldn't afford. She died before the money came. I built wealth to make sure I'd never be helpless again. Amara listened, eyes wet. I'm sorry. Help me make the apology count, he said. There's a scholarship program at the community college. Healthcare track. If you want it, it's yours. I don't know if I'm good enough, Amara admitted. You fought the world with nothing but courage, he said. You're good enough. By morning, Grace was stronger. She looked at her daughter and smiled faintly. I heard an angel paid my bill. Amara laughed through tears. 2 angels, one in scrubs, one in a suit. Bennett left an envelope on the tray table. Inside were contacts, resources, and tuition forms. Grace looked at him. No strings? None, he said softly, except one. Stay off Fulton Avenue. I will, Amara promised. Weeks passed. Bills still arrived. Buses still broke down. But now doors opened. Calls were answered. Amara enrolled in anatomy and medical terminology. She studied late into the night, her braids falling forward as she bent over textbooks. Her skin glowed under the lamp. Determination etched across her face. On Sundays, she wheeled Grace through the park where purple blossoms fell. Children played, couples laughed, and for the first time in months, Hope felt close enough to touch. Sometimes they passed Fulton Avenue. The corner was still there, but Amara was not. One evening, she saw another black girl standing there, arms crossed, eyes hard with fear. Amara walked over. Are you all right? She asked softly. The girl shrugged. Amara handed her a slip of paper. There's a clinic on Maple. Nurse Elena. Tell her Amara sent you. The girl hesitated, then nodded. It wasn't a rescue. It was a door. Mr. Bennett never added his name to donor walls. He avoided cameras. Instead, he returned quietly, sitting with families in waiting rooms, paying bills, offering sandwiches, sometimes only listening. He often whispered to himself, Stairs and ramps, Lila. Stairs and ramps. Months later, Amara received a letter confirming her clinical placement. She folded it carefully, holding it like treasure. Grace recovered enough to cook again. They laughed over soups and spices. On quiet nights, Amara studied while her mother slept nearby. Fulton Avenue's streetlight still flickered, but in another room, a lamp burned bright over a workbook titled Pathophysiology. A young black woman studied late, her dark skin shining in the glow. Her mother slept safely, dreaming of better days. Promises were kept. Mercy was given. No strings, only mercy.